guys, what's going on? Just got out to Folsom Lake today. I know we said we were going to hit the Delta next trip, but I figured we probably should just go to Folsom real quick, make sure the trolling motor's working good and everything like that. Also, part of me, seeing all those beds at Hogan, wanted me to come out here and kind of poke around. I think this time of year, people have some mixed feelings about you know, bed fishing and just fishing in the spring in general. My kind of stance on it is, you know, if you're gonna bed fish, put the fish back quick, let them get back to what they're doing. You know, don't fill your live well up with you know, a limit for a glory shot or whatever at the end of the day. I mean, do whatever you want, but that's just my kind of philosophy on it. You know, keep the fish healthy, keep the lake healthy. And yeah, we're gonna see what we can do. I brought only swim baits and then a couple bed rods. So the idea is kind of just to fly down the bank, look for fish that are bedding, try and find a giant. If we don't, throw a swim bait at all the trees on the way there and see what we can do. So we'll be out here about a half day. I'm excited. Number one. That's a pretty fat little largemouth, not gonna lie. I kind of had to course him with the bluegill imitation for a while, and then oh, what happened here? My weight is kind of stuck in his mouth a little bit. What are we doing here? Oh, I need to get my forceps out. Anyway, yeah, I was kind of coursing him with the bluegill for a little bit. He seemed pretty interested in that, and then finally got him to commit to the old Kitech, which is kind of like one of my number one baits for the spawn, at least bed fishing wise. Let's see, get our best 5. I bet this is 2 and change. Let's see. Yep, 2.3, not a bad first fish. We'll get him right back in the water, back to what he was doing. Oh man, this is so sketch. There's this giant log right here. How do you get this fish in like right now? Oh, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. If I was smart, I wouldn't be throwing this on. Look at that football, dude. Oh my gosh, that thing might be a 4-pounder with how fat it is. Wow. Look at that thing. Just a stack. We worked that fish for a minute, and the only thing that she wasn't too happy about was the this super old school bluegill thing I have. God, that thing's heavy. Let's see. Yep, 419. All right, we'll get a quick picture with this guy. We'll get him put back in the water. net is so far away. Don't want you going in there, that's gonna be bad. All right, there's some pretty decent fish in this cut moving up on the bank. It's kind of crazy. I mean, they're not giants, but that's another, what happened here? There's another solid 2-pounder probably. I think we're on our way to a nice little 15-pound bag today, hopefully. Let's see what he goes. Yep. 249. We'll take it. We'll get him back in the water and keep going. Little spot, first spot of the day. He's got a bunch of friends with him. Yeah, there's like 5 or 6 fish with that fish probably. All right, another solid 2.5 pounder probably on the old worm, floating worm. That's a weird way to get you hooked. All right, got him off. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much just busting wide open right now. I think I've been fishing the same 20-yard little stretch here for a second, and there's just fish all over the bank. Got no reason to leave yet. Yeah, 2-1. We are on our way. Oh God, you got me in a bush. Oh, I keep having technical difficulties today in my net. You know, I've been fishing Folsom for probably close to 10 years now, and this is probably one of the most like shallow, average bed like excursions I've had. Like, these fish are legitimately in 2 feet of water, maybe 2.5 feet. And a lot of times, especially on Folsom, because the water level is changing so much, you'll get beds that are in 7, 8, 9, 10 feet. You can barely see them down there because that water just keeps coming up, and they obviously don't completely remake a new one. And I mean, the last couple fish we've caught have been so shallow. I mean, it's kind of crazy. I mean, I'm not mad about it because it makes it easy to see them, but it's just kind of surprising, honestly. But yeah, I'd say the average size, like, random fish today has been a solid 2.5 pounder versus years past. There'd be a lot of those kind of 1.5 fish. But these guys today have been fat. I mean, that might be a 3 right there. That might be a 3-pounder. Yeah, I mean, that thing's probably 3. Let's see. the average size just shows you how healthy the lake is. I mean, if a fish like that is willing to get that shallow, I mean, makes me think there's a lot of them out here. Look at that, 350. I mean, that's a super healthy fish. That 4-pounder was a bowling ball. This guy's a bowling ball. I mean, I'm excited for this summer. It's gonna be good. All right, so while we're looking for another bed, I figured we'll kind of talk through like what I look for. I'm definitely not the best bed fisherman ever, but I think I'm not bad. I think I'm average or maybe slightly above average, at least on Folsom Lake. One of the things that I like to look for is you don't have to have like perfect vision. You don't have to be like eagle eyes or anything. The biggest thing I tell people is you want to look at a spot and you want to wait for something to move. So you're not just like looking around, looking for fish, just like all over the place. Like maybe there'll be one here, maybe one there. It's not really like that. It's more just look straight at the bottom of the lake as you're cruising along and just wait for something to move. Because generally speaking, you're gonna spook them a little bit when you run up on them. And a lot of the times their gills will puff, they'll flash, they'll turn, they'll do something. And that'll usually give away their position. And then once you figure that out, that's when you can kind of lock into them. And one of the things that I like to do is, you know, fish always have like different temperaments, and obviously like the bigger the fish on the bed, generally the more wary they are and the smarter they are. But one of the just like basic rules I like to follow is you don't ever want to block the fish's way to deep water. So a lot of people, let's say you see one up on the bank right here, you're just going to nose up like right in front of it and try and fish. I don't like to do that. What I like to do is I like to come to the side of the fish, so where I'm shallow basically, and the fish can either go left, you know, down the bank further, or it can dip out into deep water and get away from me. It has options though, so it's not really like perceiving me as much of a threat. And then a lot of the times too, I honestly forgot today, but like what you're wearing can make a factor too. Like I'm wearing a white t-shirt right now, which probably isn't terrible, because if the fish is looking up at me, it's going to be seeing the reflection of the sky and whatnot. But a lot of times, like especially if you're fishing around trees or something, like if you can get your back against a tree, I like that because it kind of like disguises you a little bit more. But those are some of the main things that I like to look for, and especially like on Folsom, if you're fishing an area and you know that, you know, there's probably going to be some bedfish just, you know, around somewhere, just because you know like you've caught fish here in the past, it's a spawning area, whatever the case is. I like to just look at like a piece of like cover, like let's say you finally found a log or you finally found a rock or whatever the case is, something isolated. Take the time to really stare at it and wait, because a lot of times these fish, I mean, they are the colors they are for a reason. They're supposed to blend in. That's kind of the whole point. So if you see something, I just take time, look at it, look underneath it, look to the side of it, and just wait. And a lot of times they'll expose themselves. And I think a lot of people skip over beds that they would have never even seen, because they just take this little glancing look and they just continue on their way. But a lot of times those bigger ones are going to be in those tricky spots, like that 4-pounder I caught earlier. But those are some of the main things that I like to look for, and especially like on Folsom, if you're fishing an area and you know that, you know, there's probably going to be some bedfish just, you know, around somewhere, just because you know like you've caught fish here in the past, it's a spawning area, whatever the case is. I like to just look at like a piece of like cover, like let's say you finally found a log or you finally found a rock or whatever the case is, something isolated. Take the time to really stare at it and wait, because a lot of times these fish, I mean, they are the colors they are for a reason. They're supposed to blend in. That's kind of the whole point. So if you see something, I just take time, look at it, look underneath it, look to the side of it, and just wait. And a lot of times they'll expose themselves. And I think a lot of people skip over beds that they would have never even seen, because they just take this little glancing look and they just continue on their way. But a lot of times those bigger ones are going to be in those tricky spots, like that 4-pounder I caught earlier. It was nestled between a rock and a log and the side of a tree. I mean, that thing, I'm honestly surprised it didn't tangle me up and break me off. But the big ones are going to be in the hard spots. So you're going to need to take extra time to look for them. Little smallmouth, huh? That guy was deep. That bed was in probably like 6 feet of water. I could barely see it. We actually broke off on this fish, so I really hope we get him in the boat because I want to make sure there's no hook in his mouth. Oh! Let's see. Is there a hook in his mouth? Nope. Maybe we broke off on the bush. I don't know. Get this thing off the hook. Wow, beautiful little smallmouth. Got the nice little black tail, nice and deep. See if we can go get my Kitech back. I still see it on the bottom. Guy must have been following it, kind of like ate it on the way in. Kind of weird. I don't know if he's gonna do anything for us, but we're happy to have him. Man, I don't know if I'm gonna put the clip in, but I just broke off on like a 6-pounder with the swim bait. I'm mostly sad because my swim bait's gone and I didn't bring a bunch of stuff today, so I'm kind of screwed now. I only have one other bait with me. But I don't know, we'll see. Man, this guy gobbled this thing up. Let's see here. There we go. Guy's leaking a little bit. Got to get rid of a 216. He's going to help us out. 240, not bad. Thanks for playing. Ooh, took us a while in between bites, but here's another one. Will it be a coal though? That's the question. We're real close to having 15. Just need one more solid one. All right, let's see. He's fat, but I don't know if he's gonna be enough. Let's see. Solid one. Oh, he's bleeding a little bit. 231 we got to beat. See if we'll do it. No, not quite. All right, I think that's about it for us today. Wasn't bad. We kind of did what we wanted to do. We caught some bedfish, had that solid 4-pounder. We'll see if I put the clip in or not, but I broke off on a pretty good fish with the swim bait. I don't really know what the deal with that was. I actually found this bait like when I was cleaning out my fishing stuff, and I was like, why haven't I thrown this thing? So that's what I ended up throwing today, and I ended up breaking it off on a fish. So I mean, what are you gonna do? But yeah, I think it's the perfect time to wrap up Folsom for the year out here. It's an absolute zoo. I'd say, like, I don't know, Folsom Point parking lot's probably at 50% capacity right now, and there's more and more people launching by the second. People are already wakeboarding, doing the whole thing. So we're gonna head out to the Delta pretty much the rest of the summer now. I'm excited. I think if you're gonna stay on Folsom, it looks real healthy. I can only imagine it's gonna get better and better. And those Wednesday night tournaments this summer, I bet are gonna take some pretty legitimate weight to win. So if you guys liked the video, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.